Welcome to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for joining me today on this Monday. Happy Monday. Furthermore, happy May. We got to May. Wow. I feel like the 2026 just flew by, but that's all right. Being on May means we're getting closer to summer, which is good. I need summer. I need summer to get here faster. We're live on worldviewtube.com, WorldViewTube, a Rumble and X account, and WorldViewTube app, which is available for free on your app store. We're also live on X America News and live on my platforms of Facebook, X, YouTube, Rumble, and Substack. Join the conversation as you will. Um, it's just me and you today, and no guest. I will have a guest tomorrow. Hedi Amir Ahmedi will join me tomorrow for a very deep dive. Hopefully, we can squeeze all within an hour, but a discussion that needs to happen. Hi, Sandy. I was meaning to text you back, and then I didn't make it, so I can say hi to you now. I did get your text. Lori, always good to see you. Your package was picked up this morning, so hopefully it gets there per agreed time of USPS, but we'll see. Teresa, good to see you. Christine, always good to see you. Dawn, good to see you as well. And everyone else, hi, Bob, I'll see you as well. There is a lot to talk about, but before I do that, I need to put an apology to everybody out. On Wednesday, I had a show scheduled, and it was actually with Hedi Amir Ahmedi scheduled to, we were planning to do that Wednesday. Something happened, and I had to actually cancel coming on air. I am okay. I am safe. I am fine. I am not kidnapped. But I normally put a post out to let you know, and I didn't, and it worried some of you. I apologize for that. And before I forget, as we move forward, lot is happening, and I will inform you of all of it or most of it. But I might have to skip a show here or there. So we'll see what we can do during the month of May. I do have a couple of travels coming up as well. On the topic of travel, guys, remember I will be in Los Angeles, California, at Lux Hotel of Sunset Boulevard. I can't believe I'm even saying this. I can't believe I'm going to be there. I have not been to Sunset Boulevard in 9 years, or in LA for that matter. Anyhow, I will be there. An event put together by David Horowitz Freedom Center. They titled an evening with Ainaz Annie Cyrus, so I go with the same thing. My books will be available there. I will be talking to everybody, and I think I'll be doing a brief speech as well. May 27th. May 27th, event starts at 6:30 p.m. local time. So if you'd like to join me, head over to Front Page Mag. That's where you can register. I will put up the registration option on my website tomorrow as well. And yeah, come see me. I want to see you guys. If you're close enough and if you feel comfortable enough to show up at that event, May 27th, 6:30 p.m., Lux Hotel, Sunset Boulevard. I'll be there. And those of you who are not going to be there, make sure to put all of us in your prayers. I am not afraid. However, it is not the most comfortable for me when a publicized event takes place in heart of Tehran, jealous, being Los Angeles, but that area is extremely Persian. There are many good ones, and then also there are many not so good ones. So we'll see how that goes. And as you know, it's California, so I don't have the luxury I do here in Ohio or many other states. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. We're going to hang out, and I will see if I can get the video recording of it to air on my show when I head back. With all of that being said, that week I will not be able to do any of my shows because I'll be traveling. Unfortunately, I had to break my long boycott of airports and airplanes because I tangibly don't have the luxury of driving almost 41 hours to get there, 41 hours to get back, and spend 2 days there. That was impossible. So that week, I will announce it again, but that will be a week I won't be able to do any of my shows at all. Let's get to the topic first. Hey, Heather, it is wonderful to see you, and I'll see everyone on YouTube. Pookie, great to see you. Sherry, great to see you on YouTube as well. And Kendall, good. I have admitted lately that I'm gonna soon get my, well, I do have my glasses, but they don't work anymore. But we're at a point, guys. I can't read the text. as easy as I used to. And my phone, I said to a friend of mine, I said, my phone now looks like the old people phone. I used to think old people do it when their text is so giant on the screen. You're like, why? Mine's there now because I just can't read stuff without glasses on. And my existing glasses don't tend to do much either. They just give me a bigger headache. So if you see me do this, that's just because my eyesight is not doing great. So let's dive in. A lot to talk about. As I said, I didn't do a Wednesday show. I wasn't here Thursday, Friday. A lot has happened. Some of them I don't really care to talk about. Some of them I'm going to touch on. But let's just start with the catchy name, Freedom Project. Freedom Project. Amazing. So apparently we just marked day 65 of the war, which many title it different things. I don't really care. It's a war. Iran US war. By the way, is just a quick insert. Have you noticed how literally this has gone to where Israel isn't even mentioned anymore? Like it's just US Iran war at this point. And that's why at the beginning I kept emphasizing on gratitude to Israel, IDF, and Bibi, because I knew at some point we're just going to hijack the whole thing altogether, which we did. Woohoo, go us. Anyways, day 65. Still to this moment, please do correct me on the comment section if I'm wrong, unless I missed it. There is still not a concrete objective announced by U.S. government as to what are we doing, what is the objective, how far, what are we doing? Anybody else? Like, I'm going to try not to be super sarcastic here, which I don't think that's even doable for me, but is anyone else sitting there thinking, what are we doing? What is this all about? I mean, I get the original banner. It all started with, we're coming, help is on the way to people of Iran. We're going to liberate them. Well, we knew that's not going to happen. Then it turned into, we can't let them have nuclear weapons. Then it turned to no nuclear, new missiles, nothing. Then it turned to regime change. Then it turned to regime reform. Then it turned to, we're done. We achieved everything we wanted. We're coming home and Europe can go get their own oil from the Strait of Hormuz. And now, Freedom Project, where we, the United States of America, will pretty much provide safety passage or safe passage for all the tankers, oil tankers, to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. What does that even mean? And here, most of you know, but if anybody is new here, welcome, first of all, to my channel, whichever channel you're at. But I don't read headlines before coming on my show. I don't read anything, but if I'm picking on something, I really go and read the original source. The original source did not translate what this all means. It didn't. It's just military support. So 65 days, no clear objective. One day we won, one day we didn't won. One day we respect the new regime in Iran. One day Iran doesn't have a new regime. One day they have a proposal. One day they need time to rebuild their government. Another day we don't need to be there. Another day we just have a very catchy name for Americans. Now Freedom Project starts. What is going on? By the way, I know what's going on, so I'm phrasing this for everybody so we can all feel like we're all the same page. I know what's going on because I called what's going on my Substack mid-January, almost 6 weeks, 5 weeks before we even went to war with Iran. I literally called it, not because I'm a prophet again, no, because one, I don't deal with situations through my emotion. Funny enough, somebody commented on one of the clips I put out on where I have my emotions turned on and say, you sound a little emotional. You should know there's a difference between knowing how to deliver a message and being emotional. It's a technique. If you practice it, if you're on air long enough, if you've done enough writing, you know how to deliver your message. That's not emotion, it's called delivery. And yes, I can be very passionate on my delivery, but I saw what today would bring us because, well, I very much know a lot about IRGC and Islamic regime, fairly know a lot about history of United States of America when it comes to involvement in wars, specifically the involvement with Middle East. With that being said, we knew where we're going. I knew where we're going. But today I'm sitting here like, what are we doing? And the further question is, why is this war report becoming a back burner, and outlets and reporters and journalists and hosts and podcasters are not touching it anymore? And that is the scary part. We have come to a point as a nation where an incomplete war that is absolutely harming the American people, not through bombs dropping, but through a stretch of energy, time, focus, stretch of military personnel, the cost through economy, it's harming us directly and it's achieving nothing. And yes, there are many people who will stretch this so far. The first response, well, nothing makes you happy, Inez, because at least Trump is doing more than anybody else ever done. I can debate that. And no, I'm not picking on Trump. I'm sorry, but the current president of the United States of America's name is Trump, so I have to say the name Trump. This isn't personal. I want to be very clear, by the way. This is not personal. I wrote a Substack actually defending Trump regarding the post he put out on Truth Social and people bashing him for not delivering his promise on help to the people. Now, that side note said, we can stretch this, but why did we, when did America get to a point of stretching what's in front of us to make a victory out of it, or a win out of it, or a positive out of it? Why? It's kind of ridiculous. I published a Substack this morning, and I'm by the way, so I'm very glad on the comment section and the feedback. I'm glad that you all enjoyed it, enjoyed reading it as much as I enjoyed writing it, where I brought up the historic point of today, May 4th, 1776, when officially, as of today, the 250th birthday could count, to start counting, as Rhode Island decided enough of talk, enough of keyboard ninjas. Well, they didn't have keyboards back then, so yappers complaining and all of that. They officially passed the law. On May 4th, 1776, Rhode Island passed the law. They renounced their allegiance to the king. And yes, we could sit here and debate that, could we call that the spark of birth of America? Or maybe that was the final push. Maybe that was the motivation the rest needed, but Rhode Island was the first American colony to renounce officially, through law, renounce their loyalty to the King of England. And I use that very reason. That's the thing. One of the newest things I do on my Substack is where I use our historical events to remind people, or more specifically, my fellow Americans, that hello, you have believed, or you have bought into this new twisted version of America and Americans and patriots. Let's remember the roots. And this is one of those roots. They weren't sitting there. They could have sat there and say, well, we're already fighting the British soldiers and we're already complaining. Let's find something positive in it. It is what it is. We showed our protest. They could have done that. And we don't know what would have happened if they did. What we do know is when they took the proper firm stand through action, well, happy birthday, America. That's the difference between yapping on or fooling ourselves to a win that's not there, or trying to find something positive about the terrible situation, or actually taking proper action. Differences are differences. I feel like I talked a lot. So let's do this. Let's go take our ad break. I'll scan through the comment sections. When we come back, I'm going to add some of the comments, and then we're going to continue this discussion. Be right back, guys.
Life is too short to spend a single moment spinning in laundry worries. Take a load off your mind with the all-new Norwex Powerzyme laundry detergent. This natural detergent harnesses the power of enzymes and plant-based surfactants to leave fabrics fresh and clean without fillers, brighteners, synthetic fragrances, bleach, or harsh chemicals. So go ahead, have your cake and eat it too. More than ever, stressful stains have met their match. Powerzyme's fast-acting enzymes break down organic substances while natural surfactants loosen locked-in dirt and oil, removing residue, stains, and odors with ease. With 91% bio-based ingredients, this dermatologist-tested hypoallergenic formula is suitable for sensitive skin types and delivers a safe and effective clean that won't harm you or the planet's waterways. Less time spent worrying about laundry means you can focus on what truly matters. Norwex Powerzyme Laundry Detergent. Discover the power of nature and load up on confidence.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. And remember, Norwex is running their Mother's Day sales, special offers all over the website. So all you need to do is go to cyruswellness.com. That's cyruswellness.com and enjoy the Mother's Day specials. It's going to run until June 1st, I think. But you do have time, but you don't have time because Mother's Day is coming up. And their specials are really special. I placed an order of a couple of items for myself that I knew nobody's buying me Mother's Day gift, so I bought it for myself. I know, we're not supposed to consider ourselves mothers because we only, we have pets, but then I did it. I needed an excuse to take advantage of all the special offers. So cyruswellness.com is where you go. Good to see you, Dora. Great to see you, Vicky. Stacy on Facebook, great to see you. Appreciate you sharing. That's a good idea, guys. Wherever you're watching, share this feed and help me out here. Stevie said, Trump got blocked. Any good Robert Kennedy Jr. got done on health. Oh, you meant and. Good, Robert. Stevie, I love you. I have no idea what you said there. Trump got blocked and good Robert Kennedy Jr. got done on health. I'm going to continue reading. Maybe you put something else in there that might be a little. Stacy Rose, great to see you. Hey, Michelle on Facebook, appreciate you. Thank you. Sean says Kennedy is for the jab. Well, no, okay. I won't even get into the rabbit hole of Kennedy, but I will say this. I might even dig and find it and bring it another show, but last year, 2025, around June, late May, early June, I put a post, one-liner, nothing more, nothing less. Some people actually on Facebook get very frustrated saying all of my posts are riddles. Well, I can't do all the thinking and talking for you. Anyways, the post said, didn't take Kennedy long to flip. And I vividly remember the number of comments coming on that post of, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. He's great. He's the perfect man for the job. And then months and months and months. And I'm just sitting there while everybody else finally joining my train of Kennedy flipped. So with that being said, I already talked about Kennedy a year ago. I got nothing more to add to Kennedy. How did I know? I listen when people talk. And furthermore, I listen to what they're not saying. And I am so good at knowing what they're not saying. Because when they are so scripted and so repetitive on talking points, I know exactly the reason. People who use a script and talking points and repeat the talking points, from politicians to hosts to broadcasters to judges to you name it, to your neighbor, anybody, when the talking point takes over the conversation, there is a major hidden script that you just need to pay enough attention to start seeing the script that's behind all the talking point. It wasn't that hard with Kennedy to see. Same thing with, I don't know how many of you remember when I originally came and said, really, Pam Bundy? Oh, well, we saw where that went. Same with Tulsi Gabbard. Again, I said my piece before Some of them were even in the office. I'm good at it. I can listen without hearing what's being fed to me. Stacy said we got a standing ovation when he came, question mark. That they declared no. Oh, okay. Sorry. Apparently on Facebook, the conversation has gone to to King of England coming to US. That is another thing that I saw plenty post and information on. Um, yes, Heather, Annie the Riddler. I know. I tend to frustrate people, apparently, but that's just my style. Yes, I saw that King Charles came to America, and those who walk around and say no king are now all tripping over themselves to meet with the king. I even heard how Charles decided to prepare Americans as to how they should get ready to send their sons and daughters to fight the war for Ukraine. I even heard that. However, to me, there is a much bigger problem for me to focus on than Charles, who, again, if you go way back in guesstimating summer of August 27th to August 29th of 2022, Brown House Radio, I joined him audio only because I was actually in the middle of a move. This was when Queen Elizabeth died, and now Charles going to be the king, and Brown had me on, and we talked about it. I talked about Charles again. End of August 2022, and I literally said, for anybody in any shape or form, number one, if you think King or Queen of England is just a talking head and a puppet and they have no power, you absolutely have failed to study the history, to study the formatting and the system. They are not just puppet, they play way bigger role than a puppet. And though there is a parliament and all of that going on, but a lot of final calls come from inside the castle. And Charles, with his history and his background, he is going to not just burn down UK, but he's going to burn down as many lands as he can possibly get his hands on. That being said, the more important issue to address for me to focus on is number one, very number one, what are we doing in the Middle East? The fact that nobody's even talking about this war anymore should tell you a lot. And again, I personally am broke. I'm at a point where soon I may not be able to even afford my grocery. I can only imagine families with children, what they're going through. I can cut down, I can minimize, I can shrink my life to whatever I want to. It's just me. But families are suffering out there trying to feed themselves. And I am sure there are many people who are going to say our economy is great, but they're just lying to themselves. Numbers don't lie. Again, I may not have a family, but I've been living in America plenty, and I've pretty much done my own grocery shopping from the beginning to today. And I can watch as every month to month, the grocery is going higher and higher. Certain items are outrageously expensive. So that's number one priority of what are we doing? What is the plan? And I'm not even coming at it as an Iranian. I'm not. Because never did I think or counted on US to go rescue my people or free my land. From day one, I said US should stay out of it for this reason. I'm coming at it as a point of view of an American of, okay, what are we doing? And I don't accept what President Trump has presented in certain interviews and some of the posts that is, I don't do that. You know, guys, I don't do that. I don't do the whole, we took us 20 years in Afghanistan, 12 years in Iraq, 5,500 years over there. I don't do that. Just because it's been only 56 days, which by the way is, how can President Trump even get the date wrong? Because he actually got it wrong. But anyways, that's besides the point. It doesn't matter how long whatever war, especially when an administration got in power by a straight-faced series of no new wars will start. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 5 years. The duration is not my concern. The lack of objective is my concern. If anything I have learned in my whole life of studying history beyond my life is any project. It can be war, it can be a home building, it can be just going to school. Any project in life without a solid objective can turn into absolute disaster. We still don't have an objective. And the fact, I repeat, everybody is going quiet about this, except once in a while popping and say, we won, we won, we won. They're scared of us. They're coming to the table. They're going to sign a deal. The talking points. That if we put that aside, if we clear out the noise, what is the objective we're going for? And is it achievable? Second to that, you all know, it's World Cup. Today is May 4th. In June 12th is the kickoff. Around June 8th, travels will start. So, 34 days. 34 days away. After World Cup, priority for me. After World Cup, primaries are over. Now we're going to face the final list of who's hitting us comes midterm. So those are my priorities. King Charles said what King Charles said. Ilhan went to see the king. All of that, I'm sorry, guys. This is all drama. Nobody cares. For me to sit here and, or even post a meme, I saw that meme going like 5 million times everywhere of Ilhan saying no king, no king, no king, and then she gets excited about Charles King. If one person on the comment section, send me an email, whatever, call me. If you can point directly as to what that exactly achieves, I will absolutely switch gears and I'm going to start covering those information moving forward my show. They achieve nothing. They are by design placed in front of you to distract you. And unfortunately, culturally, we have normalized not seeing the right thing. We have normalized this meme war. I've never been a meme girl, just so you know. I'm a mean girl, but I don't do memes. To me, they were never effective. And I never understood this concept. What do you achieve when you post some either funny or mean concept about somebody that is obvious information? You really think nobody in America knows what a hypocrite Ilhan Omar is? If they don't know by now, you're not going to change your mind. You know what I do? I write a full Substack on Ilhan Omar, and I point out every single action that could have been at least facing charges, if not indictments. And I release that because that is more effective. Why? Because a lot of Americans who know she's a hypocrite, they don't know how much our own system has allowed her to get away with it. So there you go. That's what I do. Iran war with no objective. World Cup coming in less than 34 days. Primaries almost over. Midterms hitting us fast and hard. That's my focus. That's where I need to pay attention. The rest, thankfully, there are millions of podcasters out there who are saying the same narrative, talking the same thing over and over. Guys, I think my brain is finally going on autopilot where I actually automatically know when we need to go to our next ad break. This is the time. Let's go take our next ad break. When we come back, I promise, whole next segment, I'm reading comments. We'll be right back. Well, hello everybody. It's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. meeting, but I'm sure, or at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfthestudio.com. Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thanks so much for staying with me until now. I greatly appreciate that. And yes, another way of supporting me financially is to make a purchase at my art studio, lutfstudio.com. Those are all handmade pieces, my own hands, in my basement, which looks like we're very close to me being able to actually spend some time in my basement again. Use promo code MISSION to get 10% off. And yes, support my work. I should probably say also Cyrus Wellness, Norwex products. You do support me financially that way. I'm a consultant, and when you make a purchase through my URL, cyruswellness.com, a percentage of your purchase will come back to me as a commission. Let's head over to comment section because I'm going to get on and ramble on again, but I don't want to do that. Christine, Bob, and Don, I am so happy you all got your copies of the book, which I should probably remind just in case we have a new audience. Somebody told me, it's like, why are you not pushing your book? I'm like, after 30 days, anybody who wanted to buy it probably bought it. Those who haven't didn't want to. But anyways, my book came out last month, Architecture of Jihad. I would strongly suggest you buy a copy or two or three and give it to other people as well as reading it yourself. And I'm not saying that because I'm the author. I'm saying that because the feedback tells me that apparently people needed this. A simplified, user-friendly breakdown of all the faces of jihad we face every day without knowing. And with the practical countermeasure part of the book, each chapter, seems like people are actually picking up on actions they can take every day and be able to push back against Islamization that is implemented through different forms of jihad. So, Architecture of Jihad. You can get it on Amazon if you like to get a signed copy. I still have a couple of them left. Whenever I look that way, by the way, it's the books over there. liveuptofreedom.com on my website. liveuptofreedom.com is where you can get the signed copy if you like to get that. The audiobook is in making. We'll get there, I promise. I now have a witness who can tell you that I am working on it. Don, I did see your message, and I am so sorry that I did not reply. I will reply to it, but I did see your comment, and I will reply to it. I can't believe it was Friday. I feel like I saw your message yesterday, but I'll most certainly reply to it. These are the comments from when I said I will be in LA. Yes, Annalise says, especially when they have foreknowledge you are coming, I'll be praying for your safety, as well as a high convincing speech given by you. I appreciate that. And I think it was Dawn who said, take security with you to LA. I can't. Let's quickly break that down. Guys, if I even try to take security with me at the events I go to, you can't even imagine the price they charge to show up. And I don't blame them. This is what they do. This is their job. So, and if you remember, yeah, with my computer dying, we actually put up a GiveSendGo to help me get a new laptop so I could do my show without my laptop dying constantly. So point is, I am not wealthy. I don't make enough money to do anything outside of paying my bills and staying free of other projects to continue doing what I do. Therefore, I cannot take security with me to LA, and that is completely fine. Yes, it's not good when they know you're coming and they know exactly where you're at what time, but that's all right. We're being born. I mean, remember, I spoke at Dearborn, Michigan, nonetheless, in the parking lot of police department because they said that's the only way they can protect me with the snipers standing by. So we'll get through it. It's going to be okay. Sandra says, I would love to see it online. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even know if they're gonna be recording the event. I don't have that information. I'll ask. But if they do, as you know, normally if there's recording, I always bring it and play it the Monday after I come back. So hopefully we get there. Good to see you, Sherry. I'm trying to be fair. On YouTube, Jerry says, thank you, Annie. That's why I watch you and Brennan House. You seem to know what is happening and tell it like it is. Thank you, Jerry. We appreciate your support. And yes, I normally try to do that. Stacy said you were talking about the 250th, and so I was touching base on the ones who are still running things behind the scene. Oh, I see. Got you. Well, that's a great topic. I need to start touching on that. I'm at a point in my life, Stacy, or anybody else who might share this thought. I don't really care who's running the show behind the scene or in front of the scene. If we would genuinely go back into the roots of this country, I'm only talking America right now. If we go to the roots, to the very bottom, and dissect the situation as to what it was, what it became, where it's at today, it doesn't matter if there's some shadowy figure behind the curtain or a full human in front of the curtain. It makes no difference because the tools we were given will defeat both, right? Last week, I don't know, on Monday or Tuesday show, someone on the comments section said, if you run, run for office, you'll bend. And I said, I wouldn't. They said, well, then they make you disappear. See, I disagree with all that. That's the thing. We have allowed, on a Christian point of view, we have allowed the earthly fears. That earthly did not come out of my mouth, right? But we have allowed the earthly fears push us into a non-existing corner. Genuinely, a lot of time, a lot of Americans do tell me like, hey, we're cornered. There's nothing we can do. I'm like, no, the corner you think you're at is of your own mind. There is, and I'll take you back to January of 2026. We played those videos over and over and over on my show. You saw what the people inside Iran with empty-handed were doing to gain their freedom, right? There is no, when it comes to human nature, now I'm going to step outside of America into human society. Human nature, God has created us as survivors. One of the saying, I don't know if you have that in English, but in Farsi, we have this saying of, you don't know your capabilities unless you have to survive. And that is true. I have watched individuals who were spoiled and were wrapped in bubbles and these under certain circumstances of survival, they couldn't believe their own capability. But the problem is 90% of humans don't come to realize that until they have to survive. I didn't either. I'm not sitting here saying I did. I had to survive a major situation as a child. Therefore, my entire adulthood was being aware of my capabilities because, well, I faced it as a child, right? I had that, I mean, I do consider that a blessing. But what I'm trying to say is everybody, even the person who you might think if something happens, you got to go take care of them because they don't know how to take care of the situation, you be shocked when it hits them. Wait for the lightning to hit them and you'll see, you'll be like, whoa. Now, the question is, are we willing to tap into that God-given survivor capability today? Or do we have to wait until the blade is right up here? That's the difference. That is what I'm trying. That's why I've been writing these historical substacks lately. That's why I do the videos of those who chose courage lately. The whole purpose is to remind all of my fellow humans that you don't have to wait until the ghetto or the gas chamber You have the capability, just tap into it. Do it before you have to. And it's actually more controllable. If you tap into your capabilities before you're forced to tap into it, you get to know it better, you get to control it better, you get to organize it better. But that requires a lot of actual truth searching. And it requires a lot of sacrifices. And that's where the difference comes in. Yes, every human has the capabilities when it comes to surviving, but not everyone has the capability of sacrificing before it's required. That's the difference, especially nowadays. The human society today is at its highest level of self importance. And again, the confusion between self-care and self-importance, another part of vocabulary that has been so twisted that a lot of people don't understand. The self-importance is not self-love, it's not self-care. It's selfish. Those are all different descriptions. And yes, there's part of society that has dictated that if you care for yourself, if you take care of yourself, if you do the right thing for yourself, then you're selfish. So you have the other side of the aisle who will literally never do anything for themselves. And I don't mean go get your nails done. I mean genuine training, getting ready for disaster, making a decision for themselves because they think it's selfish if they do so. So we have lost balance. Bottom line, back to the beginning of this conversation until today, until this moment, in America, I'm going to come back to America, we have lost our balance. And unless we find that balance, if we don't reach back and find that balance, not through our own understanding, no, through our values, the very values that made America America. If we don't reach back, that's the only place we find our levels again. That's the place. Again, that's why I've been tapping into history lately, hoping my readers, my audience, that a spark comes back, be like, whoa, wait. And yes, of course, I also love history. It's so delightful to write. I mean, I'm still writing about Islam, but it's good to write about something that's more exciting than so much evil. But point is, are we going to find our balance? We are lost because the balance has shifted. Back to the comment I just read. It doesn't matter behind the scene, the shadow government, deep state, whatever you want to call it. This land belongs to us. That's all that matters. The shift of balance. It doesn't matter who your enemy is. The question is, are you ready to fight? At least that's me. I don't sit to dissect who's my enemy, who's my friend, who's my ally, who's not. It doesn't matter. I first need to be ready to fight before I can separate who's the enemy, who's an ally. Why? Because if I'm relying on an ally to fight for me, therefore I am easier to manipulate. But if I'm ready to fight on my own, nobody can manipulate me because I don't need them to save me. I got God on my side. So I can't be manipulated. We call it discernment. We gotta go take our last ad break. I know, I was supposed to read comments and I went on ranting. When we come back, I get back to your comments. Be right back, guys.
Hello, I'm Brandon House. I want to thank you for all your support at WVWFoundation.com that helps make possible pushing out 24/7 content for free. Without your support, we'd have to put it all behind a paywall. But thanks to you and your support through our foundation, we're able to push it out for free as a broadcast service and broadcast ministry of WVW Foundation. Please consider going there and setting up an automatic monthly contribution, or go there and make an occasional contribution. If you prefer to support us through the mail, you'll find our mailing address there at wvwfoundation.com. You can also call and make your contribution over the phone by calling 901-825-0652. That's 901-825-0652. Again, all these details are available at wvwfoundation.com. Thank you for your support as we try to help people around the world understand the times through the lens of a Christian worldview.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for being here with me. I greatly appreciate you. Let's head over to Annalise. I know it is always pain that gets our attention. So, yes, we are going to wait until the blade is right up against our throat. I pray not. I pray that we, those of us who have felt the blade before, can spark enough fire in you guys to not wait that long. But I can see that that is the nature. Fighting human nature is a little harder than we expect. It takes much to over someone out of their comfort zone. To owe someone, sorry. Yes, it does. Go away. It does. That was a comment by Alway. Go away. Alway. Go away. La, la, la. I'm glad I'm not recording my audiobook right now. It does take much. But again, also, I do believe, or at least I have seen, it's been over a decade, but I have seen those who were comfortable at home who joined the fight. They have got involved one way or another. I have seen that. So, again, what at the end of the day, all I can do is do what I do. Some days more, some days less, but do what I do. And the result is out of my hands. I'm just a messenger, or better term, I'm just a tool. And I'm honored to be that tool. But we gotta do it. People have no idea of sacrifice until they are in that place, says Lori. Most are me, myself, and I syndrome. Yes. Yay! Love your history articles. I'll be doing more of them. We have to up for ourselves. Wait, Teresa, what goes too fast? Stand up for ourselves. Yes, bottom line is we do need to stand up for ourselves. John, you always put a smile on my face when I see your name or your comments. Good to see you. John says, I noted the point in your book where you identify text in the Quran Muhammad added to help himself. Yes, that's actually a project I'm working on. I'll talk about it later. I noticed the points in your book. Oh, I'm sorry. I already read that. I'm rereading it. Stacy says, you know the enemy and know the enemy and know yourself. You need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Yes, I think that's kind of what I said, but that's way more eloquently put together. And Trader Trump loving fake taxes and starting fake wars. This is from restricted content on YouTube. Fake wars, fake. I will say this. I won't necessarily call it fake for the fact that real lives have been taken. I wouldn't say fake war. This is not a fake war on all ends, and lives have been taken. But I will say this. He is never going to let any narrative, and again, emphasizing on the fact that the guy has his own platform, Truth Social. He's not going to let any potential of narrative manipulation passing by. That much, I will say. Pookie says, when a rat is trapped in a corner, it will fight at any cost, leave or die, no fear. Exactly. And I mean, I'm not going to necessarily do the comparison of a rat. It's actually human nature as well. Oh, you're talking about my show. Thank you, Tressa. That means a lot. Yes, it does. And that's a funny thing. Before I get on air, as you know, on Mondays, thankfully the rest of the days of the week won't be like that anymore. But on Mondays when I'm trying to get on the show, I'm like, do I have my thoughts together? Do I have these and that? And then I get on air and I finish the show. I'm like, okay, I'll touch on one of the 5 topics. But then again, as you know, I do talk to you guys because a lot of people, they show up, they do the show, they leave so they can, just get to their points. I don't like doing that. I mean, I do that in different circumstances. Anyhow, back to it because we're almost out of time. So I want to let me conclude. I think I kind of did conclude on my thoughts. If you don't mind, if you think this is proper thinking, I want you to also shift your focus. Don't let social media or other shows you watch distract you from what's important. I am not calling for an end of the war or not the end of the war. Again, I'll stand by my statement from June of last year that we shouldn't have get involved, but we are involved now. So I'm not going to try to, drink the spilled milk off of the floor. But what I will say is this is where I would love to see majority of Americans, regardless of your background, regardless of your gender, your party affiliation. It is a simple question. I think it is time for Americans to be given a solid objective of this war. Otherwise, you can count on, as I have said on Brannon's show before, this is going to drag on to 2027. I did say that. Again, no objective. I'm sure they have their objectives, but we have not been given an objective, a solid objective. We have bounced off the walls and nobody's calling for accountability. Thank you, Annalise. You're very kind. She said, ma'am, your thoughts are always together because these are subjects you know. You don't need prep because it's naturally pours from your heart. That is very true. It's very true. I do normally just, pick a topic and talk, but some topics, not really. Skit, good to see you. Annie, do you know yet which other show you'll be on this week so we can watch? Not a clue, Skit. Not a clue. And let me transition from your question to this couple announcements. So I've been doing a lot of praying, a lot of brainstorming with Mocha, my older cat. He's a great listener and he knows exactly when to meows. So I take that as an agreement. I'm not doing less. I'm not, doing more. I'm shifting a little bit. I'm switching gears a little bit. And with that, I would like, because I know you have asked before. So now I am asking, any of you guys who might have some available time a week. I can't afford to hire staff. And as you know, I do everything by myself. There are a few things that I can use help with. Nothing technical, nothing you need to, know technology about. It's more of, please help me gather my projects to final and get to finish line. Sandra can explain. She's helping me already with one of them. So if pray over it, if it is put in your heart to help me get some of these projects to finish line, please write me an email, liveuptofreedom@gmail.com, because the plan is to try to, if you would look at it as a desk, I have a desk filled with papers that just needs to be organized, finalized, stapled, and filed away. And I need help to get there. So I'm actually reaching out to you guys who can help. Mainly, if you know how to work with the internet and emails and social media, that would be all we need. But I need to close these chapters. With that, I'm going to avoid doing, except Brannon, but I'm always, whenever he calls, I'm on his show. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to be going on any other shows. I'm going to limit my time into closing these chapters. It needs to happen, aside the fact that information needs to keep flowing. I also need to pay my bills. And I'm grateful for those of you who are putting support, but it isn't enough of us. So I'm getting to a panic mode where I need to finish, some of the pamphlets and some of the books and some of the documentaries. All of that needs to really get to finish line. So yes, I'm not going to be much out on shows. As I said, even my own show, I might skip a show here and there. I will start doing some lives on Substack. I used to do them on Facebook, called them Get Ready With Me, while I was preparing for the day, I would actually just chat with Facebook, but we're not doing that anymore. So I'm going to start doing it on Substack and talk to you guys. A lot of brainstorming, a lot of planning. Also, next week, Wednesday, we are doing our second episode of Book Club with Aisha. So if you want to join, I will be sending the Zoom link on Substack only. The Substack only. I'll send the Zoom link and do what you need to take care of yourself. Thank you, Christine. That's the thing. It's not even taking care of myself. It's that, I got to take care of these. I sit to talk about an idea and I finish with 12 ideas. And I keep taking child ideas off of the original idea, and then I start them and then they're just sitting there. And I think it's time for me to finish those ideas as they linger around in my head, in my laptop, on my desk, literally in front of me. I'm glad you can't see the behind the scene at the moment. It's a disaster. So it's more of a, I need to clear the list. I need to finish the projects that are on hand before I can think of, I don't know, changing path or whatever it might be. But I feel like if I'm getting close to the last chapter of this mission of mine, I can't leave it so unorganized. Everything needs to be organized, as I said. File them away, and if I'm meant to continue this path, then at least it's a clean path. If I'm not, then I can say I boxed and organized and stored everything. So I'm gonna hop off. We're out of time for today. I'll be back tomorrow with Hedi Amir Ahmedi. We're gonna have a fun discussion. Thank you for joining me on all the comment sections. And a reminder, liveuptofreedom.substack.com, liveuptofreedom.substack.com is where you can become a subscriber. And if it is put in your heart to support me financially, become a paid subscriber. Get a copy of my book on Amazon or liveuptofreedom.com. And until tomorrow, you'll have fun. See you then. Bye.
You are watching Worldview 2,